How do you get the most out of an intervention lesson? How do you know if they were successful? And do you get the opportunity to be creative with these sessions? Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from My Progression, and this video is the second in our series about intervention. If this is a new topic to you, then head over to our video on what is intervention, linked here. This video will take you through how to deliver a successful intervention lesson. Intervention programs within a school take place on a daily basis, and intervention is a fundamental part of school life. Interventions in education allow teachers and teaching assistants to address any gaps in a child's progress or attainment through a focused teaching session on a specific area of learning. Once a need has been identified, usually by analysing data and speaking with the main classroom teacher, effective interventions can then be put into place and used to support children in achieving their full potential. Being the person who leads the intervention group is a great responsibility as well as a real privilege. You are the person who is going to make a difference to that student. We want you to be prepared and know what makes a successful intervention lesson. My Progression offers CPD certificates to help you evidence your learning. See the description below for more information, and whilst you're there, like, subscribe and click on the bell to keep seeing more from My Progression. The students are at the heart of intervention. Intervention can take place in a number of ways, one-to-one or small groups, where children will be taken from the class they should be attending to work on the area of intervention. The class teacher will be aware of the group taking place, and the children will either be collected by the intervention teacher or be sent to them. The reason the intervention is taking place is because the student or students have been identified as having a specific area of development which needs to be addressed. This could be a lack of confidence in reading, misconceptions in maths, or to boost exam techniques in essay writing. The list goes on. We will look more closely at different types of interventions in one of our future videos. But the absolute key to getting this right is keep the children at the heart of what you do. It's all about what they actually need, not a one-size-fits-all kind of program. The aims of the programme will have been carefully curated by a teacher or teaching assistant based on a key area of need. I'm sure that anyone working in a school classroom has observed children who they're just not getting it, and it can be heartbreaking to see a child lose confidence in their ability. Interventions can be used to specifically boost confidence as well as attainment. This can mean that Ethan, who is classed as more able, but he just doesn't get fractions. He may be a candidate for an intervention lesson to reteach and support him in his understanding. Intervention programs are tailor-made for the individual child or group of children. We need to address the barrier and find a way to break it down so that the children can move forward and progress. Be prepared. As in any lesson, preparation is key. You may be a teacher, HLTA, or teaching assistant, but you will have had a discussion about the children you'll be teaching and have a plan in place. So first of all, know where you're going to be working. We all know that space in school is limited, and it's always hard trying to find somewhere to take a group of children to work. There's nothing worse than arriving with a group of children to a room to work and finding it's occupied by someone else. When planning the session, book a space. You may have a staff notice board which you can write on and remind your colleagues that you'll be working in the library from 10:45 onwards on Tuesday morning. Your school may be really well organised and it may be sorted for you, and it might be mentioned in the staff meeting or even an email. Fantastic, you're ready to go. Have any resources at the ready. You will have spoken with the class teacher about the intervention you're going to be teaching, and you will know who you're going to have in your group. You may plan the session yourself, or it might be planned for you, but make sure you have time to prepare or gather the resources you need. If you've not planned the session, make sure you're fully aware of what you need and how you're going to teach the lesson. Make sure your subject knowledge is up to date and you're aware of the strategies used in class, so you're being consistent. It's always worth having your own little stock of resources that the children may need. So a box with spare pens, pencils, rubbers, rulers, and individual whiteboards. Even when you're clear about what the child needs to bring along, you can guarantee there will be a few who forget something or their pen doesn't work. Remove any potential stumbling blocks from the start. Understand the learning outcome. You must identify what it is you wish to achieve. The outcome you decide upon ideally should be SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely, so that you can demonstrate the impact of the intervention sessions. Will this be your responsibility to monitor separately, or will the class teacher be the one to identify where they are in their progress? The structure. Leading an intervention session is very different from teaching a whole class, and perhaps we need to have a bit of a different approach to teaching the children in this session. The pupils will most probably have been taken out of their whole class to access the intervention, and our aim is to really boost their learning, because this will increase their confidence in that topic and possibly, and most probably, their self-confidence too. We have the privilege when teaching an intervention to spend time with a child in a small group or even one-to-one, so we will most likely get to know the child a little more. The beginning of the lesson, so when the child comes into you or you collect the child, smile, be welcoming. We want to make the children feel comfortable, happy, safe, and ready to learn. So introduce yourself. The children may know you, but they might not. So a warm welcome and a little introduction to you is a great way to put pupils at ease. Hello, take a seat. My name is Miss Matthews, and I'm sure you've seen me around school. I definitely recognise your faces. Let's go round. Tell me your name and your favourite animal. My favourite animal is a panda. Introduce what it is you're going to be doing and why. Make sure that the pupils understand why they're here. We're all going to work together today to make sure that we're understanding how to attack a reading comprehension booklet. You're all doing really well, but I know the longer answers can be tricky. So we're going to focus on how to answer them to get the marks. So how do you feel about that? Is there anything else in the reading test you find tricky? Because we can work on those things today in this lesson. You've set the scene and the focus of the lesson. You've checked the children are ready, and so you are now ready to teach. Think about what you're teaching and assess the children at the start. The use of an individual whiteboard and pen is really good for these sessions because the children can easily rub out mistakes and rectify them. So something like, show me how you would do this calculation using your whiteboards. Work with the person next to you if you like. As the children are working, you can see where they're at and know how they work things out. You can then decide to move on or move back. Let's look at this together and think about the setup of this calculation. You know what the aim is, but make sure the stepping stones are there for the children. Break the learning down to manageable pieces. Be assured they will get there. Have your own way of evaluating the session. This could be a notebook, pen, perhaps with a code so the children can't read what you've put about them. The main teaching. So after setting up your session and gauging where the children are in their learning, you now have the main bulk of the teaching. Be enthusiastic about the lesson. If you're enthusiastic about the teaching and enthusiastic about the intervention, the children will pick up on it and they'll enjoy it. I absolutely love learning about fractions. I can see some of you don't look so keen, but today we're going to make sure that we leave here loving them. They'll be your best friend at the end of this session. Praise, praise, and more praise. We want to boost self-belief and confidence in the pupil's attitude to learning. You could use a reward. So a sticker for younger children, or maybe a merit or whatever the reward policy is for the older children. We all need encouragement, so make sure you do that verbally, whatever the age of the child. Scaffold and model the task. Teaching a small group in an intervention will feel very different. You'll be faced with a group of children who all have differing needs. Some may lack confidence, some may lack understanding, some may even be overconfident and therefore make mistakes. And some might not have grasped the topic. Don't be scared to go right back to basics and then move forwards quickly. That recap may be just what's needed. Build on the knowledge and model using a whiteboard or possibly an interactive whiteboard. Then get the children to have a go and support them by allowing them to work together or even alongside you. So, what should we do now? Is always a good question. The use of individual whiteboards allows the children to have a go, and then they can make changes quickly to be correct. It also means they don't end up with lots of work crossed out or scribbled on, which is also going to allow for a quick assessment. Show me what you did, Ryan. That's excellent, but can you think about what punctuation you could add at the end of that sentence? Brilliant, yes. A question mark, because you're asking someone something. Give the children a chance to ask questions throughout the lesson. Make sure the children can talk to you. Check in on them with a, "You all right there, Sammy?" Moving around the group and getting down to their level and just talking about the learning will nurture the child and support them in a quiet and unassuming way. This will allow the pupil to gain confidence to communicate with you, to ask you for help, or to go over the learning again. Be prepared to change the plan and adapt the lesson. Sometimes we plan a lesson and make a start and you realise it's going straight over their heads. It's always worth checking at the start what the children know. So today, I'm going to make sure we're confident with finding percentages of amounts. Only to be met with a sea of blank faces and a chorus of, "We haven't done anything on percentages." Always go back to check on the basic understanding. You can quickly assess and move on if the children do understand. But most importantly, that recap may just help one child get it. Make sure you have some time to chat too. A little rest or downtime can allow the children to get to know you better and possibly find some things out about them that may be having an impact on their learning. Bethan, one of our intervention teachers, said that she found out a little boy was caring for his mum who was unwell, and therefore he wasn't going to bed till much later than usual. This added pressure on the child impacted their learning. She was then able to support the child emotionally as well as academically. It can be a real privilege to deliver intervention sessions because you learn so much about the children. The end of the lesson. Leave on a positive note, making sure the children feel successful. Feedback to the children about how well they've done. Ask them if they feel confident and what they've learned. From this, you can evaluate and adapt your next session, move forward, or consolidate learning. Asking the children themselves what they feel they need support with is always helpful. Wow, that time has flown by, hasn't it? I can see that you all appear to be much more confident in answering those tricky, longer questions. How do you feel about them now? What else would be helpful to you in our next session? Assessing the impact. As you deliver your sessions over a period of time, you'll be able to assess the children and the impact of the intervention. This may be done informally in class where the teacher is aware of the difference in attitude and attainment towards a topic, or it may be done on a more formal basis through tests or a bit of both. Formally monitoring can really identify the impact of an intervention and inform further teaching and learning, which is again, tailor-making teaching for children. Interventions are a daily part of school practices, and I hope this video will help and support you to deliver the very best intervention lessons that you can. We'll also look at types of interventions in a future video, as not all are academic. Whatever the type of intervention, the children must always be at the heart of your teaching and planning. Have a look at our video on how to love your lesson planning for more helpful advice. As always, I've been Natalie from My Progression, and let's keep your career in motion.